Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This match is going to be part of the MST Season 3 Group 6 match, final match I should say, between Mensol and Memory. We have Memory, let's see where he's starting, 6 o'clock position in brown. Mensol starting at the 3 o'clock position as the teal zerg, and it's going to be on Athena 2. So Athena, the 2 opens up the middle of the map a little bit more, also removes gas from the middle expansions, which helps zerg players out a lot, I think. First of all, they don't end up trying to go into the middle and take expansions there, where Terran just kind of puts siege tanks on the ridge and then kind of allows the Terran ball to do the rest. It just was very difficult on Zerg players as a result. And additionally, you can kind of do more against the Terran ball because there's multiple directions to come from in the middle of the map. Before, it was just like the Terran ball could kind of clog areas and there was nothing a Zerg player could do if the Terran had kind of a spot out. Had science vessels over the ridge, just comm setting up, things like that. Anyway, going to be a tough match actually, either way, because Mensol, again, very solid player, lost against Luxury, but honestly, Luxury is such a good player, no real shame in that. Forward barracks, very aggressive forward barracks position there by Memory here. Memory might be thinking about putting out an early Marine to maybe catch an Overlord, something like that, but it looks like the Overlord, it's not really viable on this map because it goes over a lot of map artifacts. But yeah, wants to get that Marine, putting some early pressure on. Needs to be careful though, because against early Zerglings, that's a very vulnerable placement. Looks like some Overlord, the Overlord is heading directly to his base, so Mensol going to get the spot out, and he's probably going to be able to bring it back over that leftmost map artifact as soon as he sees this and adjust. It looks like he's gone for a 12th pool, so gone for somewhere in between 12th hatch and a 9th pool. Going to have some economy and going to be able to get some Zerglings out as well. Seeing that front door build there, backing off a little bit, and he's going to be able to produce that early Zergling. This is interesting. I think as a result, Memory's going to be playing into the dark a little bit, and we'll see if he switches up into that mech build. I don't think so though, just because usually when you go into a mech build, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to cap your second base and get that additional gas. And there's a big gap. The secondary, it just has a big open area. You can't really seal yourself in on that secondary. It's a little harder to hold in Athena 2. And I like the adjustments they've made on it. The Terran ball is just so powerful in the middle, and now there's multiple options to kind of flank on that. So an SCV and a Marine pushing up. Might be thinking about a bunker rush. Some Zerglings being produced though, so there will be 6 Zerglings to engage here. An additional Marines pulling out. SCV looks like it's coming back here, and just kind of waiting alongside. And there's that first SCV engaging the first 4 Zerglings, and I've got to assume that there's additional Zerglings being produced. So remember, yeah, needs to be careful, and yeah, he's bringing that Marine back. Let's see if he lifts that barracks up after this. I think he was hoping to run to a 12 hatch, and unfortunately he is not in fact running into a 12 hatch. He's running into a 12th pool, which is going to get, this is a really good situation, I would say, for Mensol. Mensol getting that additional hatchery down. You can see Memory pulling that SCV and that Marine back to be a little bit more defensive. He wants to try to get back to that ramp. He's not going to build additional Marines, well, no, actually, he's going to try to engage us out in the field with that. Just 4 Zerglings. I expected 2 more on top of that, but at the very least, wow! And actually not going after that SCV with 2 Zerglings, so it's actually just 5 Zerglings out there in the front door. So 5 Zerglings versus 4 Marines, and that SCV alongside Memory should be okay. But at the very least, this is delaying him from getting additional expansion down. He hasn't been able to apply any pressure. At the same time, Mensol has been able to get his 3rd hatchery down. At the very least, though, he hasn't been able. He's been spending larvae on Zerglings as opposed to drones. And finally, that SCV scout getting taken out. So he knows he's going up against a 3 hatchery build. He just doesn't know what 3 hatchery build. And Mensol doing a very good job of using just that small Zergling force to try to push Memory out of position. Memory now getting that 2nd barracks down. He hasn't capped gas, so it looks like he's going to go for a standard bio build, knowing that that's, again, probably taking into account that that secondary is a little harder. Because he has to lift that barracks up, that's additional Marines that aren't being produced. He's actually taking that secondary now, so going and, oh, Mensol, once again, this has been a common pattern for him, killing those critters out in the middle of the map. That's bad karma, man. You need to be careful doing that, and the Marines trying to push up again and push those Zerglings back. Mensol very comfortable at his base, not feeling a lot of pressure, and those Zerglings really forcing Memory to stay at home base. He can't run those Zerglings around. Memory taking an additional expansion, knowing that there's just a couple Zerglings out in the field, really counting on Mensol at this stage not to produce any additional Zerglings to apply any additional pressure. And yeah, Memory stopping Marine production after lifting off. I guess that's a good transition, knowing he can't produce Marines, might as well go for a secondary. But actually, no, additional Zerglings pouring down, able to push the gap, going to get a lot of those Marines. And unfortunately, this is a bad situation for Memory. SCV's in an attack right there. You can see the frustration on his face. He might get at least losing a lot of those Marines, so 2 Marines there, and he's going to have a hard time defending defending that secondary, especially with the additional zerglings pouring down. So nice adjustment. Mensol pumping up economy. It looks like he's getting Delaire, able to deny the secondary, and just not a lot of Marines on the ground for Memory in general, especially with that command center going down, still losing some zerglings, trying to push that ramp. But the thing is even as he's attacking here, those are SCVs that are in attack patterns and not on the front door, and they're not mining. So this is hurting Memory's economy, even though, and I think those 2-3 zergling losses are worth that, especially keeping Memory off balance and forcing him to micromanagement more than Mensol will be on the opposite end. Second gas up, and we'll see if Memory is actually going to be in position to, he's got a good amount of Marines out, he's getting that academy down, should have a couple medics out. These are probably going to be 2 medics right here. I don't know that he's going to have an opportunity to put up kind of that pressure to force the Sunken colonies, though, on the opposite end, because that Spire already going up, and if he tries to push up pressure, looks like a Sunken colony, or a creep colony going down anyway. We'll see if Mensol just decides to hold that, though. But keep in mind, I don't think Memory can push up pressure just on the timing of this. Once those 2 medics comes out, especially with those zerglings out in the field, if he decides to press out, those zerglings might be able to slip underneath. And additionally, it looks like 2 firebats as well. And additionally, I think the Spire might be timed as such that those Mulisks might be able to slip down underneath, and they wouldn't be able to get back to home base in time to assist in any sort of defense. So I think Memory's actually just going to have to stay at home base here, and Mensol might be able to get a little bit of an economic boost off that. And he's throwing the zerglings in to get a good spot at the attack numbers. He's also producing producing a lot of zerglings. In addition, we'll see if he starts to save his larva, as you can see. So now actually, yeah, so zerglings pouring in, able to kill a couple STVs, again trying to get up that ramp. I think he just wants to get a spot at the tech at this stage. Now we'll see if Memory decides to push out, and he'd be really in a bad situation though if he did press out. We'll see if he's getting in his engineering bay down as well. I don't see any weapons upgrades. The engineering bay is going to be significantly late, so I don't think he's going to get weapons upgrades. So Mulisks being produced now, and this is what I was talking about. The zerglings slipping by. They might be able to get a run at that ramp at least. They're going to have to blockade at the very least. But again, those Mulisks going to be able to push, if that Sunken colony, yeah, 2 Sunken colonies go up, Memory's going to have a hard time bringing that attack troop back to deal with the Mulisks that are going to be inside of his base, just because of the way this has been timed thus far. And so now the Mulisks are hatching. The question, yeah, and that's 5 Mulisks running up towards the secondary, and he really needed those medic Marines back in position. He's got that single turret going up in the backfield. I think he needed those more in position to help defend his main in particular, and we'll see if Mensol swings about directly to the main and really has a sense of this, and Zergling's also pressing up on the front door, and it looks like Mensol realizing he's kind of caught the, no, he's backing off. I thought he was going to go and put up a little bit more pressure than this. Instead, what he's going to do is he's just going to be a little bit more threatening and rely on Memory being kind of pinned in his base at this stage. 3 turrets going up along that secondary. It's a lot of turrets, and we'll see if he can kind of explore elsewise. He's at the very least going to be able to pick a couple Marines off here, but knowing that he's got a firm degree of map control at this stage, he's going to take an expansion at the 3 o'clock, and also inside that base. Things really going well for Mensol at this stage. We'll see what Memory can do to kind of push his way out of this. He's got some turrets up in the background. Looks like additional turrets getting taken down. He's got those Medic Marine forts, and that's where you have to rely on the Medic Marines to kind of push back. So Memory out to a slow start, and I'm sorry, it's the main at the 3 o'clock that's being taken. It's not the natural expansion that's being taken. I think there might be an Overlord scout there. That's what I'm seeing on screen. Anyway, more Mulisks pushing up. They're just going to try to pick off some Marines. Not able to do so there, and that's a nice little gap for Mensol to continually run to, because he can kind of stay over that gap, see both kind of the general areas where the Marines are on either side, and then try to get a hit on either edge. And it looks like a factory now being produced by Memory. We'll see if he does transition to dropships. Keep in mind, he's again very, very good with dropships, and a couple Hydralisks going out into the field to produce some lurkers. He needs to be careful bringing them out so far. Bunker going down for Memory, so he can at least try to push out a little bit. Those lurkers might be just going to the 3 o'clock position to morph I'm sorry, the Hydralisks might be going to the 3 o'clock position just to morph there and provide a little bit of defense up that ramp. Being up that ramp, he's going to have a much more defensible position against a Medic Marine force. Even just a couple lurkers up on a ramp, just having that advantage can be really difficult to deal with. Medic Marines pushing out, and I'm not sure if he's comp set it out, but if he does go to that 3 o'clock position, he's going to, wow, I'm not sure that Mensol has enough to really defend at this stage. Again, that bunker on that front door is going to protect somewhat against the Zerglings. His main, I think he's got enough Medic Marines to deal there. Mensol just, losing one Mutalisk there. He's got the Zerglings up alongside. He just wants to delay as long as possible to get those lurkers up, because once they're up on that ramp, especially with Mutalisks in support, they're going to be very, very difficult to take care of. It's going to be very, very difficult to go up that ramp and deal with them. So a bit of timing here. The Mule's now going up for attack on the main. Medic Marine's kind of trying to push up here, and let's see if the Lurkers hatch in time. A single Zergling being sent out in delay, and it's going to be pretty close. There's the Lurkers right now getting up the ramp, burrowing as well, and now, yeah, Memory's just going to have to back off. Yeah, he can't. It's so difficult to push up against a ramp in position, and right now looks like Mensol's going to try to get some free kills on the Marines pushing back. So, wow, really, really precise timing there. Let's see if he can catch that Fire Bat out in the